Namaste and welcome to Dragonfly Kukri and Knives. This is a sketch that I did. I hadn't completed it yet. I was still working on it, but I wanted to run it past Raju to see what he thought. If this was something that he would be interested in making, possibly not. And an interesting thing happened. As soon as he saw the picture of this kukri, which is a Hanshee design, very old design, traditional design, and I wanted some more spiritual aspects included on this blade to make it really special and unique, and a part of the spiritual history and heritage of the kukri that were first and originally made before the war between the Brits in Nepal. So this may be a kukri that could quite very suitably be carried into a temple, used in ceremonies, but also be used every day in the fields or by the wives in the kitchen. It was meant to be a beautiful but useful kukri. Not necessarily meant for just war or self-defense, although it could be used for both. So this was the concept. As you can see, there's no measurements, no design. Matter of fact, there's some things that I still wanted to play around with. But I gave the idea and concept to Raju. Raju, as soon as he saw it, wasted no time and went to the forge and started making it. I still had other kukri with him that he was making, but he stopped, dropped, and rolled and went with this. And what he came up with, taking from my original design and putting in his own design into it, it became a true collaborated design kukri designed by Raju Borelli and myself. And I'm going to be happy to introduce to you this blade. Now, right now, I have it named as Devi Hanshee. I may change that name a little bit, but I wanted to give honor to the chief goddesses of Hinduism, showing the feminine aspect of a motherly love. Devi is also sometimes referred to as Shakti, sometimes referred to as Durga or Parvati. Some of her incarnations was Lakshmi, as well as Parvati. She's also known as Irma or Uma, or Durga. Also, one of her expressions is the divine goddess Kali. This comes with a rather simple scabbard, and I am very happy that he made it with a very simple scabbard. It has a military ribbing on the up here that goes all the way around. So even if we wanted to, we could actually turn this around and wear it ambidextrously. However, I'm right-handed, so it was made for me, so it's a right-handed version of it. And as you can see, this very high-quality leather, thick frog can be slid off, and it could actually be worn through a patuka because of the ribbing. It won't slide through. It is a very, very intelligent design, and as you can see, excellent retention. The blade does not slide out. Here is the blade design. Now, I'm going to be taking my time and talking about some of the aspects of the design of this kukri to kind of accentuate the spiritual aspects of the Hindu influence on the design of the kukri. But first, just the overall design. This almost has a sickle shape. Would almost be good as a karma, which is used by in martial arts, and particularly in Okinawan style martial arts. It kind of resembles a karma or kama that they use. I think I'm pronouncing that correctly. If, my memory may be failing me on that a little bit, and if so, I'll correct that later. But it has a very large ikchira, a very large fuller to lighten this blade. So it's a very light and useful as well as beautiful blade. It has a very interesting curve. It's very pronounced. When you hold your hand in a straight fist, keeping your wrist straight, you'll notice that the shape of the blade, the tip is almost completely forward. In martial arts, it's good if you're doing a punch type thrust, your blade is following the natural extension of your hand without breaking your wrist when you're doing your thrust, like most knives you have to do. This one will facilitate a straight thrust. It is designed for martial arts, but it is also designed for any function that a cooker can do. And primarily, mostly, what I do when I design cookeries or we make cookeries and offer them on our website is not for necessarily martial arts or for combat usage. We're thinking of them as tools that you would want to carry out in the field and used at your campsites, creating your hunting lanes, skinning animals, survival. These are survival blades. This one, I've incorporated some very nice design along the spine, which is something that's going to be controversial. You'll see little mini swastikas. Now, I'm not a neo-Nazi. I believe in the equality and rights of all people, of all genders, of all orientations. I support, you could say, the divinity that's within all humanity. So I'm not a Nazi and I'm not supporting Nazism. Unfortunately, the German Nazi period took the swastika, which was used by Native Americans and used by Hindus and Buddhists in their spiritual practice that is far older than the symbol that Hitler used and implemented on his flags. I'm bringing this back because I want to emphasize the spiritual importance of it. The swastika, and excuse me, I'm going to have to read this, and its meaning. In Hinduism, depending upon where it's facing, and we're going to take some close-up shots of this blade later and you'll be able to see where it's facing. This one is called a swastika or swastika in ancient texts, in ancient my mind's going blank, but I'll put links on this, and I will be talking about this in the upcoming review in greater detail, so you can follow up and read it there. But anyways, it is called in the ancient language, Sanskrit. Sorry, it came to me. In the Sanskrit, it is actually called swastika if it's facing where the arms are opposite of what you see on the Nazi version of it. It'll also incorporate 4 little dots. And this symbolizes, it's when it's pointing clockwise, and it symbolizes good luck and prosperity and well-being. So it has a very positive meaning to it. So with this blade, with that design implement, it is wishing prosperity, well-being, and good luck to its user. Not something where it's intended to be used to hurt another person out of ignorance or out of prejudice or bigotry. Now, what Raju implemented is he put a brass ring around the handle and inscribed in the ancient Sanskrit language the verse that you saw on the other blade that I introduced, which was well, the one custom design that I did, where it was inscribed on the side of the blade. It's the same verse, but it's wrapped around on this brass handle here. Then he which was part of my design, with the traditional style handle in the wood, he put the Om symbol, which is carved on both sides of the handle in 2 places. The light rosewood that he used, very beautiful grains in the wood, comes out to the butt plate, and this is where he really excelled in his design. This is Raju's design. I have a butt clap that I intended. I wanted something nice and kind of a little bit elaborate, but nothing to the extent of what he did. On it, around the side of it, you will see the Om symbol, you'll see the swastika symbol, and you will see ancient Hindu text of Om Tat Sat, which is supreme absolute truth, is the meaning of it. And then if you take a look at the butt plate, you will see the tremendous detailed designs that he put on this brass plate. So it is a rat tail tang that goes all the way to the end with the keeper, very elaborately designed butt cap, beautiful brass ring around with the sacred text, and with the and he also uses the half crescent and the dot symbolizing Maya and self-realization, or Brahman, the absolute truth, the absolute eternal consciousness. This is a beautiful, beautiful blade I'm very proud of. I love it very much. It's very close to my heart in its meanings, in its symbolism, in its design. I love the Hanshee design, as you know. I often say that's my favorite design kukris. I like them large, small, but I love that curved shape. It reminds me of the moon in Shiva's hair. This will be available on my website. I've already soon to be completing the review on this blade, so you'll be able to get all the specs and dimensions and weight. And please, if you have any questions about it, message me on Facebook Messenger. Look for my review on Facebook at Blue Dragonfly Trading Post, and look for it on my website on dragonflykukriandknives.com. Again, namaste, and thank you very much. We'll be doing a stump on this so you can see up close, and perhaps some cutting tests. Thank you. Bye-bye.